Since many people have faulted Rey for being a Mary Sue, the people who like Rey have defended her by saying that if she is a Mary Sue, then so is Luke. Is he? Let's find out. A Mary Sue is an overpowered and perfectly good character, with no explanation given for that power level. A Mary Sue is typically instantly liked by all of the established characters, yet at the same time, a Mary Sue doesn't have much of an actual personality. Hence, Mary Sues tend to be characterised only by their selfless goodness and hyper-competent powers, and for this reason, they don't feel like actual characters in this story. So let's find out if Luke is a Mary Sue. First, his backstory is of course explained in A New Hope. He's the son of a powerful Jedi Knight, and he is used to piloting. Rey is a scavenger, but neither her piloting skills nor her proficiency with the Force are explained. Also, unlike Rey, Luke makes a lot of mistakes. In the first movie, Luke gets tricked into removing the restraining bolt on R2. That is his first error of judgment, and R2 doesn't like Luke, the way BB-8 immediately liked Rey. Then Luke tries to fix his mistake and recover R2 by going out into the Dune Sea, but here he gets wrecked by sand people, whereas Rey beat up two thugs all by herself. Later on, Luke gets into trouble in the cantina and has to be saved by Obi-Wan. He can't handle himself in the bar. And on the Death Star run, Luke's run would have failed if he hadn't been bailed out by Han at the last minute. Then in the second movie, Luke gets saved from the Wampa by Han. He makes the error of going to confront Vader prematurely, loses, and has to get saved by Leia and Lando, otherwise he would have fallen to his death. And in the third movie, Luke's plan to rescue Han fails, and he gets saved by R2-D2 at the last minute, and also, he would have been killed by the Emperor if Vader hadn't stepped in to rescue him at the end. All in all, Luke commits a lot of mistakes, and is frequently seen in situations where he loses because his power level is not sufficient to match the challenge he has taken on. Luke's backstory is explained, and Luke is not instantly liked by everyone. R2, Han and Leia give him plenty of sass in the first movie.
Traveling through hyperspace ain't like dusting crops, boy.
Too little short for a stormtrooper?
Huh?
It is true, however, that Luke doesn't have much of an actual personality, but that by itself isn't enough to make him a Mary Sue. Luke's character isn't a Mary Sue, but an everyman. In literature and drama, the everyman is an ordinary individual with whom the audience is supposed to be able to identify easily and who is often placed in extraordinary circumstances. To paraphrase a comment coined by Alan Lennon Jr., the everyman is like someone playing a computer game by starting from level 1 and then leveling up, the way one is supposed to play the game. But the Mary Sue is like someone playing the game whilst using cheat codes. Watching someone playing a game with God mode on isn't very inspiring, and that's why Mary Sues are typically considered bad screenwriting. They have no stakes. On the other hand, everymen are typically popular because they feel more like real people. They feel like they could be you, and if they feel like they could be you, you're going to be more interested in how they're going to overcome the problems they're facing. All in all, we therefore conclude that Luke is not a Mary Sue, but an everyman. Rey, on the other hand, is not an everyman, but a Mary Sue. When Luke started out, he was just a brat who wanted to shirk his chores, whereas Rey starts out being a perfectly good and moral character who saves a droid she doesn't know and refuses to sell it for rations, even though she was shown to live in absolute poverty. She's good at fighting with her staff, fixing the Falcon, flying the Falcon, being immediately liked by Han, Leia, Finn and BB-8, beating Kylo Ren at both Force Pull and Swordplay the first time she uses a lightsaber, and turning Kylo's mind probe back on him. Rey is never seriously injured, she doesn't need Luke, and doesn't get her ass kicked at any point, while Luke had the familiar everyman arc of adversity, failure and growth. Rey doesn't really have anything of the sort. She's basically already perfect from the first movie on, and that is why a fair analysis must conclude that while Rey is a Mary Sue, Luke is not.
Not only do I play a hero, but the setup is perfect. I play the hero's hero.
I succeed in what my job is, but only through his intervention. It allows me to be a hero, so he is, in effect, the hero's hero.
I think I can handle myself. I know how to run without you holding my hand.